Hello, today is Friday, November 15th. I'm wearing a new shirt that Mahesh got me for my birthday. It's California, San Francisco, but I got it in Bhairawa, Nepal, so it's pretty great. Alright, I am leaving the Bodhi Institute on my bike, and I am going to Maya Devi Temple. For the next couple days, there's going to be an event happening. It's pretty extraordinary. A bunch of monks from all over the world are coming to the Maya Devi where the Buddha was born, and they're going to be chanting the teachings of the Buddha. When the Buddha left this world, a lot of his students got together and wrote down his teachings in 3 books. One was about different stories that the Buddha told. Each story had a lesson to be learned from it at the end. Kind of like Aesop's fables a little bit. The second book was like rules, but not like you have to do this, but more like advice. Like, this is why it's good to wear this, and this is why this can help you. So that one was more like advice. And the third book was the actual teachings, the Dharma, which is the teachings of Buddhism. And that's, there is suffering, life is suffering. This is how you get rid of suffering. So what the monks do is they all sit around and they chant, and they chant these books. They memorize these 3 books, and it takes like days to chant all of them. The main language they use is an ancient language during the Buddha's time. I don't remember the name right now. So now I'm gonna go try to get into Maya Devi. Hopefully Rocky will help me get in because I'm a volunteer. I forgot my money. Alright, this is the start of the walk towards Maya Devi. Oh! There's the baby Buddha, he's number 1. Getting a lot of attention because I have a video camera in my hand. I do not like this attention whatsoever. I usually don't like walking down this pathway because you usually have to stop and take pictures with people, and it's not that I don't like taking pictures with people, I just don't want to draw attention to myself because I want to just do my work here and not seem like an annoying white tourist. Usually young students, young kids from other areas, India, Nepal, like to take pictures with me, and I just don't like the idea that they think that white people are special, and I don't really want white tourists to get any more attention than they already do. I mean, I'm not helping by carrying a camera around, but this is just for today. Alright, so we're coming up to the gate, and I actually see a monk I know, so maybe he can let me in. The monk I saw, Sandeep, and he's just staying outside, so he's not going in. So I'm going to try to go in now. Alright, you have to take your shoes off. Here's everyone's shoes that is in Maya Devi. This is the smelliest place. I just walked in, I just said I was a volunteer for the Crane Sanctuary, and they just let me in. Took a couple tries, but they're like, okay, yeah, you can go in. I gotta go find Rocky now. It's a little bit different. India, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, China, Vietnam, Korea. Found Rocky.
Hi. So today is Tripitaka chanting going on here in Lumbini. People from 5 to 6 countries, they come together. All the monks, nuns, and even novices also. And they will chant all the whole teaching of Buddha here for today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow in the birthplace of Buddha.
Do they go home, go to sleep, and come back, or they stay here?
Yeah. No, they will go home, and they will tomorrow morning 6 or 7 o'clock again, come back. And this is opening ceremony. So people from Nepal, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, India, they all come with the teaching of Buddha. It's a very ancient way to remember whole teaching Buddha and just keeping memorized, so they can transfer from one generation to other generation, from the memory to memory.
Yeah.
All the language will be different.
Aki told me about it. What's the language called?
So the basic language of Buddhist teaching at the time of the Buddha was Pali.
Pali.
Pali was the universal language that time for the whole Jambudvipa. But they translated that teaching in other languages also, in Chinese, Tibetan. They have their own version of language, and then even in Sanskrit also they translated this one. But today the chanting will be in mostly in Pali language.
Pali. Is that a dead language? Like
Yeah,
no one uses
no
that?
one uses anymore.
Kind of like Latin.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man. Poor Rocky is Guruji's personal
त
assistant
अब यहाँ त्रिपिटक च्यान्टिङमा त मैले
while Guruji's on stage. So he has to answer his phone.
हस् हस् उहाँ त्यो त्रिपिटक च्यान्टिङदेखि नै उठेपछि
All
म
the
बोलिदिन्छु उहाँलाई। अब यो चाहिँ अलिक
It's like a call every
दिनभरि चल्ने
minute.
प्रोग्राम हो। खाना 12 बजीतिर उठ्नुहुन्छ, त्यति बेला टाइम त्रिपिटक च्यान्टिङ चलिरहेछ कि लुम्बिनीमा। यो पुरै हाम्रो शङ्कर पोखरेलहरू सबैजना आउनुभएको छ त्यो त्रिपिटक च्यान्टिङ।
Guruji's the one in the middle of these two guys. There he is. Doing an awesome job.
गौतमी बिहारमा पन्थीहरूको भोजनको व्यवस्था गरिएको छ र लुम्बिनी गौतमी बिहारको अगाडि दिएको छ भन्थे र अनागरिकाहरूको भोजन पश्चात सम्पूर्ण
Mahatera, who is the president of International Tripitaka Chanting Council.
So they're taking a lunch break, and then after lunch, the chanting will start. I'm still gonna hang in the Maya Devi Temple area. It's a really beautiful space. And there's the Bodhi tree where the Buddha was born. Usually there are monks sitting around it, but they're all taking lunch right now. And they have these awesome little benches around trees that you can sit on. I kind of wanted to talk about this event because I think it's important to talk about religious events in the modern day where a lot of our life is ruled by money and what we can make in order to survive. And I think that there are times when you have to question everything. I think you should question everything all the time, and you have to find the line of where religious events cross from spiritual to commercial. I think it's always good to ask yourself your opinion on that with anything, but here it happens to be about spirituality. I've spoken with some people and it's been voiced that this event has become very commercialized. There's a lot of money that goes into the planning of it, and it's very beautiful and it's a very nice event. I don't want to criticize the people who come to these events, and I'm not painting the people that come to these events in a bad light. I just think that the moral here should be to ask why, and that's what the Buddha taught, is to always ask why. He was a very scientific person, always questioning things. I mean, it's in every religious aspect. If Jesus came back and saw that they made a religion about him, he would not be happy. That's not what he wanted. If the Buddha came back and saw this event going on, but how is it helping the community? How is it helping the people around here to relieve suffering for them? I think it's still a really, really cool ceremony, and I'm excited to see the chanting. And it's something to experience. I was talking with Aki, and he was just talking about how things turn ritualistic and may lose the original value of doing them. And the value of this chanting was to remember the Buddha's teachings and live them, experience them, like live through them by saying them all the time and memorizing them, and then go through and make that part of your day. And from what I've heard, what I've gathered with people that I've talked to, maybe it's lost a little bit of that. So I do want to preface that. They even had some chairman or something sponsored the lunch and breakfast. They said it over the loudspeaker. They're like, and this breakfast was brought to you by, and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. We're going to chant about the Buddha's teachings, and then we have to hear an ad. So that's the modern day. I just don't want people to tokenize religions or make things seem exotic and novel because of stereotypes or what you think those religions are. So I want you to see the real deal. You can hate on whatever religion you want, but also realize that there's a dualism aspect to everything, and that not everything is what you think it is. There's good things and bad things to every single thing. I'm a culprit of tokenizing things about Nepal and Buddhism, and because I'm not around it, but since I've been here and living around it, I notice certain aspects that are not different from what happens in the US, what happens in Christianity, what happens in anything, any sort of system that runs on money. You just realize that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting because it's a lot. It's not bad. It's just interesting. I'm just watching this man try to take pictures of a bunch of kids and they won't stay still, and he's getting frustrated with them. White people. You just go with the flow, man. Look. Just enjoy the moment. Stop trying to get a good picture. You're around all these kids. Just enjoy being with the kids. Tourists, man. The chanting has started. It's started by the Nepal group over there. So I stayed a bit for the chanting, and it was pretty nice, but I actually had to leave because I was sitting under a tree and a bird decided to relieve itself on my head. So I had to go outside the temple to the wash area and wash my head. Some girl and her little sister were asking why I was washing the back of my head, and I had to tell them that a chata, which is a bird, went on my head, and they laughed at me. So that was fun. I think it's all clean though. Well, that was a good experience. I'm glad I went. On my way out, I did run into those girls that saw me washing my hair, and they asked me again what happened, just to remind me of the event. No, they were very nice. They were teaching me Nepali. I'm glad I seem like an approachable person because I love talking to people here, and I never get annoyed by it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week. Bye.